I grabbed a pallet, cut it up, and ripped the boards with a table saw into different thicknesses. I traced a heart shape onto a 1/4 inch plywood and cut it out with a jigsaw. I placed the pallet boards onto the heart shape to cover it completely with some of the boards overhanging. I used a miter saw for cutting the length of these boards. For the ones with an angle, I placed the adjacent board on top and traced it to get the right angle. Once the pattern was figured out, I removed them all, applied wood glue to the plywood, placed the pallet boards back on, and used a brad nailer to secure the boards to the plywood. Then I turned it over and added more brad nails from the backside. I let them dry with weights on top for a few hours. Then I used a jigsaw to cut around the heart shape. I used 80 grit sandpaper to give a quick hand sand on the top of the boards, and I used a palm sander to smooth the edges. To get more of a rustic look, I watered down acrylic paint and painted the boards in either white, pink, or red, alternating the pattern. After that dried, I screwed them to a piece of driftwood, placed it in a planter surrounded by rocks, and now I have the perfect heart-shaped topiary just in time for Valentine's Day. I hope this inspired you to create unique hearts out of pallets too. I grabbed a free pallet for this genius garden hack. I used a hammer to remove some of the boards carefully. I left the nails in the boards so that I could use them again. I made 3 rows with 3 boards tight together on the bottom row, 2 boards together in the middle, and 2 boards near the top. The pallet was taller than I wanted, so I used a reciprocating saw to cut the extra off. I flipped the pallet over and followed the same pattern with 3 boards together on the bottom, 2 in the middle, and 2 at the top. I used all the leftover boards from this pallet, plus a couple extra scrap 1x4s. I cut more 1x4s to fill in the bottom of each section and secured it with 3 nails on the front, and then I flipped it over and I hammered in 3 nails on the back side. I gave the front a quick sand with 120 grit sandpaper using my palm sander. Next, I filled each section with soil and planted my favorite herbs. I used my Cricut to print stencils to paint labels for each section. When applying the stencil, I first sealed it with Mod Podge, and then I let it dry before painting with acrylic paint. Once the paint was near dry, I removed the vinyl and did some touch-ups with my black acrylic paint pen. And now I have the most beautiful herb garden that can also be hung on the wall. I hope this inspired you to create your own pallet herb garden.
Last week I walked out of my office and there they were right in the hallway. Some really good pallets, and they were in great shape, and it gave me a great idea on how to get ready for the spring. First thing I did was lay it down and start cutting around the edges. It's easier to take a pallet apart when you cut off the edges first because that's less nails you have to go through. On the middle section, just take a crowbar, hammer it in, and you're going to pull it up. Don't pull too hard. You want to do it from both sides. Now all you got to do is take out the nails. They're easy to do. Just lay it on a table, tap on one side, use the bar on the other, and pull it out. Once you get all of your nails pulled, you're going to have a nice big pile of wood to use. You can sand them down now or keep them raw looking like this. Next step is to grab some crates from Michael's. These are perfect, nice and smooth. I'm going to take 2 of these and glue them together. What you want to do is get your glue down and don't go thin on it, and then use your finger to spread it out. That's going to make it adhere to the other crates really nice. These are going to come in 2 pairs. So we're going to take this one and set another one on top. Lay it down. Make sure you get it lined up just right. We want it perfectly straight. And then use clamps to hold them together while the glue dries. Only takes a couple of hours. I did cheat on this one. I used a nail on the side to hold it together. Once you get your 2 pairs, you're going to space them apart. Take 3 of your boards from the pallet and lay those out. and we're going to use those to hold our 2 pairs of crates together. I can use screws or brad nails. I use brad nails because they're easier for me, but screws work just as fine. Go ahead and go around. Now I set up on sawhorses because I'm ready to put the legs on. Now I'm going to take that pallet wood and I'm going to square up the ends. These are going to be the legs. I'm going to set this on one side, facing on the side of the pallets to put them in, and then I will take the front, the same length, and put it there, glue and nail. Now, the support boards for the pallet, I'm going to screw those in the back because I want more of a backdrop on the top of this table. Now it's time for more glue. We're going to put this on top of the crates because I want to build a table. Again, I'm going to use pallet wood. Just take the glue and spread it out. On the pallet boards, I cut one piece, just enough to have a little bit of an overhang, and then I put a little piece in between. I didn't want the table to be too wide and stick out. Once I get it all glued down, I just took those brad nails and put them into place. Now, these are just holding it while the glue sets up and it's going to be super strong. Now it's time to work on the back. Wanted to make sure it wasn't too tall, but I took some of that pallet wood and nailed it into the sides. Now you can do it however you want. This is going to be your project. What I did was I put these on, but I left some space in between. So this one I went ahead and nailed, put it on top, and then the next one I just put right below just to give it a little bit of a different look. Once it's up, it's time to put some hanging hooks on. These are easy to do. Just screw them right into the boards. Now, let's put this thing in place. And I went to Dollar Tree and grabbed a bunch of items for only $1. This is our potting board right here. I'm going to put the potting soil right in, and this allows me to work right there at the table, potting my plants. Everything that you're going to see right here, it just turned out great. And all of this stuff I bought from Dollar Tree. It looks amazing. And it's just the right height if you want to bring those little ones out to plant those happy little flowers. I think this project turned out great, and it was inexpensive and easy to do. I hope this inspired you to build your own DIY potting station. For this project, we're going to grab us an old pallet. We need to cut a section of the pallet out, but we got to be careful we don't cut where there's any nails or screws. For these cuts, we got to use one of our saws. This is a skill saw. It makes good straight cuts. What we need to do is look at the side of the pallet, make sure we measure, we have the same overhang. It's 2 inches, so we're going to mark it on one side. We're going to take it over to the other side and mark the same 2 inches. Let's go ahead and grab a board and make a nice straight edge. This is going to be the line we cut on. Using the skill saw for this one, because it cuts straight, we're going to go right down the line. Don't forget to use some eye and ear protection anytime you're using a saw. Once we get it all the way cut through, we want to make sure that we get our area nice and clean, but we got to separate these units and we've got to turn them over. We've got 4 more boards on the back side to cut. So we're going to use the same 2 inches, mark a straight line again, just matching with the one underneath. And this one, let's use a jigsaw. I want to demonstrate both different types of cutting tools. This jigsaw is easy for small projects and it goes right through. Go ahead and separate it, but don't throw it away. We'll need those boards. Take the section that we cut and we need to find the middle. That is how we're going to get our 2 ends perfectly aligned. Then we use a jigsaw, get it cut through, and separate those. These are going to be our sides. Now what we got to do is take that part that we cut off earlier and separated and remove some of the boards with the nails in them. They're very easy to do. I can just pull up on them and they come right off. Now you've got some nails in there though. We need to remove those. It's easy to do. Just go ahead and grab a hammer and you're just going to start tapping on the back side of the nail. Just keep going. Eventually it's going to give and push right through. Do that with both of the nails. Some of them might have 3 on them. Once you get them pushed through, grab the back of that hammer, which is called the claw, and give it a yank. You're going to pull that nail right out. Easy squeezy, not a problem. Save those boards and we're going to place them across the top of the 2 pieces we cut. Just go ahead and line them up, and as you can see, I alternated the boards with the nails so they're not all lined up together. This one took different boards, put it all on there. Then I used a nail gun just to put it in place. You can use a screw if you want, but this one perfectly with a nail gun. I just lined them all up, get them nice, perfectly straight after putting the first and last board in, and then just use 1.5-inch little nails. Put them right in, and it makes a wonderful top for our furniture. This thing is going to be so strong, it doesn't take much to hold it together. And also because it's Hometalk, we've got to make something really nice and neat for this. So take a little bit extra, the boards that we have left over, and we're going to build a little bit of a shelf. And that's going to be for our bottom. Just line these little 9-inch boards up all along, again using the same nail gun that we have, and we're going to put it all together. This one is easy to do. I measured it just nice for the bottom, and look at this. It slides right in. We're not going to secure it because it's time to show you this final project. This is great for outdoor. It looks rustic, and it's great for cooking s'mores and making some hot chocolate, especially with that sliding shelf. I hope you guys enjoyed this project as much as I did making it. I hope this inspired you to build your own pallet or scrap wood furniture. Thanks for watching Home Talk, and we'll see you next time.